Welcome to the White House, and one of the most beautiful places at Christmas time. Here in the East Wing of the White House, the decorations are incredible. Every room you enter has a different theme, a different look, a different feel, all with one thing in common: the magic of Christmas. And this year, we're getting a VIP tour of Christmas at the White House from Mr. Stuart McLaurin. Stuart, this is beautiful.
I know, it's really pretty as you look back over and you see all the wreaths that are on the windows.
Yes.
All the way around the White House. What I love is coming in and you see the little children around and their eyes light up and they want to, they just want to reach out.
Even if you're at the White House, they just like the toys and the decorations.
Right. And they want to reach out and grab that gingerbread house and take a bite out of it. So.
And if anyone knows about the history of Christmas at the White House, it's Stuart McLaurin. He's the president of the White House Historical Association. Stuart McLaurin, it is great to see you.
Welcome to the White House, Colm.
This is incredible. How beautiful is this Christmas at the White House?
Well, it's always special to be here, but there's no more special time than Christmas. Christmas is a family-centered, home-centered holiday, and the White House is the home to our president and his family. And in a sense, it's a home that belongs to all of America and all of the American people. And so to have it decorated and festive and special is really a wonderful thing.
Now, Stuart, when did this tradition of decorating so beautifully the East Wing of the White House, when did this begin?
Well, it has had many iterations over the years. The earliest celebration of Christmas at the White House was actually in Christmas of 1800, when John and Abigail Adams had first moved into the White House. It was a very modest type of Christmas. Of course, it's extremely elaborate today, and it seems to get more so every year. But it was in the presidency of Dwight Eisenhower that the state floor began to be decorated with a number of Christmas trees. This year there are 98 Christmas trees involved in the decorations. And then it evolved more and more and more until we here at Christmas 2023, and it's probably the most spectacular ever.
It's magical.
It is beautiful. Magical. In fact, that's the theme: really? Magic, wonder, and joy.
This year, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden decorated the East Wing specifically with children in mind.
The magic, wonder, and joy of the season.
And walking through the halls, there are toys, sweets, a bed ready for the night before Christmas, 34,000 ornaments, and in the blue room where we're standing, a very special Christmas tree.
At the White House, Mrs. Kennedy is joined by the President in the Blue Room for picture-taking in front of the Executive Mansion's Christmas tree, an 18-foot balsam inspired by the tree in the Nutcracker Suite.
The idea of having a themed Christmas started in 1961 with the Kennedys. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy picked the theme of the Nutcracker. Little did anyone know that just under 2 years later, the presidential Christmas cards would not be mailed out, and instead, almost 1 million cards of condolences would come to the First Lady. But when in the White House, Jacqueline Kennedy made sure that the true meaning of Christmas was at the center of the decorations when she installed a special nativity scene.
Very special. Actually, this nativity scene became part of the permanent White House decorations in 1967 during the Johnson presidency. But initially in 1961, there was a loaned creche of a Neapolitan 18th century Italian carved wood creche, over 40 pieces.
Wow.
And it is now, since 1967, every year, it is in the East Room of the White House. Beautiful. It is one of what I think are the centerpiece elements that are the iconic traditions in the White House decorations every year.
And that very same nativity scene is still here today.
I felt that I'd like to bring our own personal family feeling. How do you like it?
Celebration of the great miracle nearly 2,000 years ago that brought the Christ child to us, and reflection on the great gifts he has bestowed upon us.
Now, Stuart, from studying the history and the beauty of Christmas at the White House over the years, what are the moments or the years that stand out to you as being extra special and extra memorable?
Well, you know, during the time that we've been decorating the White House for Christmas, we've had times of war, times of peace, times of economic thriving and economic downturn, and the White House has tried to maintain a feeling of Christmas spirit.
Keeping the Christmas spirit alive in the White House by showing off the Christmas tree,
Our White House Christmas tree.
singing carols, cooking,
The gingerbread house.
and even a surprise call from the president to see what Santa is bringing.
What's Santa gonna get you for Christmas?
The gingerbread White House, Santa and his reindeer, the remembrance tree for those who have served, the decorations from children across the United States, and the green room representing people of different faiths. There is something for all Americans. And since 1981, the White House Historical Association has released its own Christmas ornament, each year depicting a different presidency.
This year we roll up on the presidency of Gerald R. Ford, and the Ford ornament is for the first time a wreath.
So beautiful.
It's really beautiful, and on the front are these icons from an arts and crafts Christmas that the Fords experienced. That's how they decorated the 3 years of their presidency. And then on the reverse are icons that represent President Ford's life. So these tell a story about that presidency, about that time in American history, and it's a little bit of history that people can acquire and collect and bring a bit of the White House to their tree at home.
And Stuart, finally, for you personally, you get to come through here each Christmas and see the beauty. What is your favorite thing of Christmas at the White House?
Well, it's really just like seeing what the decorations are going to be. Dr. Biden has taken great interest in these decorations and in making them special, but to see it magically and wonderfully and joyfully through the eyes of a child, and I think she's achieved that beautifully. As for me, I like to see what the iconic Christmas tree is going to be in the Blue Room. Always interested in the gingerbread house because that's a very special part of the story, but I go back to the creche and the meaning of it all, and how that is so beautifully depicted there in the East Room of the White House.
Stuart, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure has been mine, Colm. Thank you so much.
Wishing you a happy Christmas from the White House. Colm Flynn, EWTN News In Depth.